This is KarsaKKWx. Karsa's my name, KKWX is my empire. Today we're going to be playing a little bit of Waystone Mysteries. And we're going to find out a little bit about the Exor Sisters. Let's get to it. So, what happened last time we were here? Note, I did say last time, not last week.
I have to get into roll 20.
Lit a ghost on fire.
We did things which led to other things which led to stuff.
Very helpful. Very helpful.
You're welcome.
Francis. So, do you remember?
I do not.
You guys went to a place. You did set a ghost on fire. If you do not remember, you were in Tamsworth and you had been stuck.
In a temporal anomaly of some description.
Yes. You had to go through the entire mansion or manor to try to find the objects that would get you free. And the last thing you had to do was set a ghost on fire.
Burn, baby, burn.
And that's where we were last time. And now you guys are heading back. And it's all to Nav right now. If he's here. Hey, all yours.
I mean, the wrap up for the previous one is fairly simple. Wait, after you guys head back, you know, eventually you make it back into what the hell is that place? I can never remember the name of the place. It's across the water from Boston.
MIT?
No.
Cambridge?
Cambridge.
That's the one. I don't know why. I mean, it's not like we have the original one over here or anything. Anyway, yeah, you guys head back into town after all the stuff. Managed to, you know, bumble your way back with the vehicles that don't really deal well with the amount
Cold,
of mud.
rocky terrain.
It's not cold and rocky. It's soft and squidgy because it's mud. On heading back in, was there anything that anyone was intending on doing on returning or on the way?
No, but I'm going to go and look at the Flake playbook, because I didn't know there were other... I don't know if there are other moves I can take.
I mean, I think there is that thing for taking a move from another playbook, but you gotta really sort of know what you're getting into with that. Anyway, yeah. So on that basis, that no one's saying they have any intentions prior to coming back. So yeah, you guys head back, go about your business and everything. You can basically have your you know, your heals and everything. We'll also have to edit Cain's sheet for him since he's not here, or I will remind him when he gets back.
Yes.
Already.
Okay, so you are on a new mystery as of right now. And you have some downtime. So, who would like to start with some downtime?
Francis is going to go and sharpen his mind somehow.
Sharpen his mind with a.
I leveled up.
Oh.
But yeah, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna walk into the class next day with like this amazing story that you're gonna regale to all your students. Who are basically gonna sit there dumbfounded as you're talking about being caught in a temple anomaly, and that's why you've been missing for a week.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then eventually someone's just gonna bounce a piece of paper off your head, and suddenly the weight of the universe is gonna hit you, and you're gonna realize how much smarter you've become. And then it's all gonna go away a moment later.
Well,
Because
you say
you-
that, but
too
like
much-
one of the things from the Flake playbook I can take is suspicious mind. If someone lies to you, you know.
I mean, fair.
I mean, I'm a teacher, so that kind of fits.
Is that what you're
Yeah.
gonna take?
Let me read the rest of these.
I mean, keep in mind, it would mean that in order to use an ability like that, you would have to insert yourself into social scenes
Mm-hmm.
where you do have to witness people doing the lying.
Yes.
I could actually just imagine that you're like 40 miles away teaching a class while, Nathaniel's investigating something. You're like, what's that I can smell? Oh, someone's lying. Like,
Well, it
that's
says that
great.
somebody's lying
Because
to
he's
me.
40
I
miles
know.
away. Oh, okay, fair enough.
Which is useful because I am a teacher.
Yeah.
I will be in social situations a lot.
You'll have to put yourself into those situations. Mr. 1920s Discord mod. So yeah, upshot being is during the downtime. At one point, there will be discussions, most likely involving what was her name? Brandy being rather thankful to Elle in regards of passing on the information regarding the Tamsworth interest in getting the farm back working, seeing as they no longer have this whole problem where the farm seems to eat people. On arriving at the town, the group got in contact with the essentially town mayor. Doesn't really like the terminology and everything, and they essentially give the information to the group of the haunting of the George Manor. And investigating it, the group found out what the deal was, sorted out the issue. The upside is afterwards, the town basically wanted the manor gone. But essentially exercising the place has the same effect. They can now, sort of restart up the farm and everything, get people in, make, work the land, all that kind of stuff that they couldn't do prior. And that was basically the, downfall of the small, I suppose technically, village of Tamsworth.
I gotcha. Okay. I guess in my off time, because we dealt with a lot of hauntings like ghosts and things like that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
All right. This is where I need to start doing a lot of research into it, as far as that is one haunting, so that means there could be more. So it would be spending a lot of time looking into newspaper articles, old methods, talking about
Francis walks by you, bumps you, you get a book slipped into your hands. It's about God damn it, what is it? Paranormal activity.
Yeah, the research into that. Then I'm also talking a bunch to the locals. It's sort of like doing listening for local legends, other older stories, that kind of a thing like that. So you're using the I'm hearing what the locals are talking about, doing the research into the books and stuff that you guys have available, and trying to associate the two together. So okay, we had the one haunting. More than likely, there probably is going to be another one somewhere closer. or someone close, maybe.
You've actually been in the, well, not you, but others have been in that building that has a haunting.
Right. So that means, doing a lot more research and understanding it as far as what the hell happened and how to actually what to do. Okay, like you go in there, you encounter a ghost. Okay, you can do this to protect yourself. You can do this to protect yourself. You can do this to avoid doing this. That kind of a thing where you're trying to learn generally how to keep yourself safe.
You get the 9,001 ways to a sealer prevents ghosts, or not sealer, a sailor.
Mm-hmm.
All that random stuff of always throw your wood teeth off the right side of the ship, always throw salt over your right shoulder, tap your heart 3 times, spin around counterclockwise.
Yeah, you'll get some of that too, and you do get a lot of segments on the hauntings of where they do use salt and holy water.
Yeah.
Yeah, you end up with you have to go and buy an extra journal for all the notes that you're taking, and it is that literal thing of having like an entire list, like bullet points of I sat and read through this and I got 53 things. I'm going to write them down in these pages.
Yeah, random notes, old wives' tales, things like that. Because you never know what's going to be real and what's going to be false.
Right.
Try the first one, take for harm. As you're getting up off the ground, pulls out book. Did not work. Crosses off one.
Yeah, I could definitely see it.
Okay. Oh yeah, that. You do know of a haunting and a woman who's been haunting you and your crew for several weeks now.
True. That's where I need Igor.
Unfortunately, Igor is not with us.
He's disappeared off into the ether.
He has literally disappeared.
The ether has disappeared into him.
That may be true. Anyway. Anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right. Nathaniel, what you been doing for the last couple of days, your downtime?
Nathaniel has spent the last few days well, probably for one thing, clearing everything and making sure that the fact that he disappeared for a week into a time vortex isn't causing like any external problems back at the bureau.
Like what, per se?
Well, like the fact that they may think that I was like killed or abducted and be actively planning a raid on the general area to find out where I was.
Do you generally call in every day?
Not every day, but going a week without calling in would be very unlike my character.
Okay, then there would be a conversation that would be had.
Yeah. This is, as I said, that's what I'm doing.
All right.
Making sure that's taken care of. Beyond that, what you have to remember is that for some reason I just don't fail at rolls, which means that I don't get experience, which means that I don't level up.
Well, funny that. But you may find it a lot easier this week.
To fail at rolls, or?
Yes.
All right.
As you have a -1.
Why do I have a -1?
Because of something you did last time.
Might I inquire as to the nature of this, or is this some kind of supernatural curse that's
Out of
afflicted?
character, you could know it, but in character, you do not know it.
All right. I'm -1 to all rolls.
Let me look at my notes, because I did write it down.
The voices speak. One does not question the voices.
Fair, but I was honestly just always tried to do the right thing. I don't know why I would be cursed.
Yes,
because you
are
asked too many
cursed.
questions.
Oh wait, no, I
Fair.
remember.
Yeah, no, that's he doesn't
my
have too
brain's
many
waking up.
questions. You have too many.
You are cursed with bad luck. -1 to all rolls and your first attack.
Wait, -1 to all rolls and my first attack, or
If you attack somebody, we will discuss what happens then.
alright.
I remember.
I like that this is a game that rewards failure.
I'm like Gomez Adams. I fail to fail.
I fail upward.
Yeah, that's the one.
So, while you are out and about and talking to your betters, is there anything specifically you tell them about what has been happening? Or do you beat around the bush? What do you say to them?
Well, I suppose that depends. Like, how much do they believe me about my comments on the supernatural?
They don't.
Well, I think you answer some of your own question then. Like,
They are listening and going, Really?
How about we prepare for you a nice room away from it all for a while?
So that's why I'm asking. How much
That's
do
fair.
you tell?
that's why I got reassigned here. No, I make up a story to justify myself being incommunicado for a week, and basically just establish that from now on, while I usually do try and report in at least every 3 or 4 days, don't start sounding any alarms unless I'm gone for like 2 weeks.
Okay. Well, what story do you... I want to know what story you tell them.
What
This is
story do I
revenge
tell?
or something.
Yeah. No. Easily enough. What? Now, this is something I would have like checked before. What was the weather like during that week when we were away?
Actually, very cold.
Very cold. All right. I caught a terrible fever. Was delirious.
So delirious for a whole week.
No, not for a week. I've been planning on, delivering notice to you, but as I said, first I got a cold. I got a very bad, felt very ill, and I figured, okay, well, it'll pass in a day, and I'll be a little bit late. And then the next thing I knew, I was fighting zombies made out of multiple people combined together, and all of it. Like, try to pass off the story of what happened as a fever dream, as a literal fever dream.
Okay.
You just straight up give them all of the information, factual, but in such a way that they're going to be like, yeah,
Yeah, we don't believe
Why do
it.
you take a few extra days
the
off?
sites.
Do you need
Yeah,
a couple
then it'll be
days
good.
off? Are you still well? Are you not well? Or do you need a few couple days off?
Oh, I'm doing quite all right now. Let me tell you, there's nothing like. Where am I staying?
I don't know. Where are you staying? Are you
Fair
staying?
enough. Staying at a boarding house
Okay.
run by old lady named. It's a good Fran Hatcher.
Fran Thatcher's boarding house, and they would have checked on you within 2 weeks if you weren't there.
Well, it wasn't 2 weeks, was it?
No, it was.
Yeah, it was 1 week.
It was 1 week.
Yeah.
You were gone 1 week. So, but they write down. Okay.
Good to know that you boys care.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I worry that I was sent there just as a way to, get me out of the way, sort of reassigned away from the important things. But it's good to know that you are taking the time to read each and every report I send you.
There's one guy in a room going, "God, die already."
Oh, he's not in a different room. He's literally sitting in that room listening to the report given. Where he explains all this to the superiors, and the guy's just sitting there like, "Oh my god, why do I have to read this guy's reports?"
I don't know. There's also the guy in the other room who has to catalog all his reports. So there is the one guy who actually has to read all of them. It's just like, I got away from the bottle, but now I gotta go back.
Sitting there with a typewriter, typing away, like reaching over for a bottle that's not there. Like, god damn it!
Goddamn prohibition!
There's going to be several bottles sitting there.
Well, you know what's never abandoned me? Good old opium.
Yeah, exactly. You got to chase that dragon.
Well,
No, that's when you start drinking the laudanum again.
your betters will ask you if you need a couple of days. You say you don't. You say you're fine. And they say, all right, then we'll be looking forward to your next report.
Except they're not looking for the next report. They're hoping he dies. Because they think he's crazy.
My reports are read by top men. Top
Exactly.
men.
Hmm.
Oh man, of the
Top.
boy.
Men!
Top men
Top
of
boys.
the boys.
Top
Hmm.
boys.
Top boys.
Insert I don't speak bottom here joke.
I'm glad, like, pretty much everyone was on the same page for that.
What, for the top men joke?
Yeah.
I've made it every time he said that. You guys have said that exact same. I have come up with some type of bottom joke.
Meanwhile, I at least got the reference.
I understand the reference. I'm still gonna make bottom jokes.
All right. Well, the top boy releases you from the meeting so that you can move on to talk to some of the bottom boys.
The bottom boys.
We gotta get to the top of this.
Are you sure we're not?
Yeah.
Are you sure they're not men of constant sorrow?
No, they're men of whips, chain, and leather. Where do you think? Where do you think Judas Priest got all their info from?
Breaking the law.
They are the men of constant sorrow.
All right, that's enough.
They're going more for hellbent for leather, but sure.
Anyway.
Hey, I'm quoting "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?"
And I'm quoting Judas Priest. One of these two is better than the other.
Probably.
We are not the same.
Nathaniel, is there
assuming-
anything else that you would like to say for your week on break? What, anything you would like to do?
I'd like to spend some time hanging out with Fran.
Okay. Now, can you tell us a little bit about Fran?
Fran is 68. Husband's been dead for 10 years. Children moved away, so that's why she's renting out the rest of the rooms in her unit.
Humble abode.
Humble abode, yes. She's an excellent cook, but only cooks for herself.
So, will she cook for you?
If I beg and plead and bend over backwards, or if I just do extra yard work and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Or give her like $1. There you go.
A whole $1.
To be fair, I actually could totally picture that as Nathaniel asking for some food, her being like, "No, I don't want to make any food," and then he pulls out the gun.
Threatening your landlord is not. Threatening your landlord is rarely, if ever, a good
Giving
idea.
$1 is actually really good, though.
Yeah, but do you know
Yeah.
how much $1 worth?
Yeah, that's
Yes, I do.
I
I
go
know
broke
exactly
pretty quickly.
what.
I'm paying a full $1 per meal.
I know.
All right. You're right. For whatever reason, I thought we were further along. Forgot 20s, 10 cents. Here's a nickel.
Yeah, that's probably more like it.
It started as a nickel. Now we're up to the $1. That's how hard-headed Fran is.
I still remember reading that news article that was in what I think it was the New York papers or something, and the headline was that gas prices have gone above the cost of a single apple. It was like a gallon of gas now costs more than an apple. That's kind of hilarious when you read that nowadays.
Yeah.
That's
now
way
they co-
fucking
now the
hilarious.
gallon of gas and the apple cost roughly the same.
What? No, they don't.
No, they don't.
What's wrong with
They
you?
do in my town.
One
I gotta move.
apple.
I'm moving to your town.
One apple and gas costs the same.
A gallon of gas costs roughly the price I could get for one apple at my store.
One
Yeah,
apple.
right.
Your apple charges $3.50 for one apple.
They are big apples.
That's not the.
Okay, picker didn't happen. I gotta see this.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree there. Pix or GTFO.
Because that would mean that if I'm using my store prices, which are higher than normal, you give it away like 5 apples.
Something I would think of like a half a bushel would be more likely.
How big a 5-pound apple would be?
That's a big fucking apple.
That's
Exactly.
huge.
The apples are definitely not 5 pounds. They are, however, expensive.
I personally find that it would be insane if a gallon of petrol for a vehicle is what you charge for the same for a single apple. I mean, does it give you free blowjobs and happens to be made of solid gold?
It might be solid gold.
I don't know, but I'm about to find out.
Well, I mean, I could. Well, how do I want to word this?
It's amazing that we all took the stance that the apples are being overcharged rather than that the gas is being undercharged. That was an equally valid option, but we all went immediately with the apples being overcharged.
No. You say valid. What? It's.
I mean, gas in my neighborhood, literally
Hold
the
on.
gas station that my brother likes to go to is, I believe, a little over $2 a gallon.
Okay, that's cheap.
Oh, dude.
I'm
Well,
on my way.
yeah. I was gonna say, your gas is like $1.20 cheaper than ours.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. And my store is probably, in fact, overcharging for most of the fruit. Which
Okay,
is why I
so
don't buy the fruit. Anyway,
high
back to the game.
fruit, low prices of
High
gas.
fructose corn gas.
Hey!
High fructose corn gas.
It's true. It's a real thing.
I know.
All right, back to what we were talking. What were we talking about?
High fructose corn gas. No. Nathaniel was.
Right.
Price of-
Yes, we didn't ever have to worry about gas.
Please go on, Mrs. Thatcher. It's fascinating.
We had horses and horsepower. It was
And
grand, and it could be used for the farms and for getting in the plows into the ground, and we were able to keep our own gardens, and now you have these whippersnappers that have these general stores, and they make you pay 5 cents. 5 cents for an apple. Is that
please tell me more about the general
crazy?
stores.
Mother of God.
Please go on, continue. More about the general stores.
can you make a cost 5 cents. That is just ridiculous. How? Anyway, and we could keep our old apples. We had our old apple trees, and they were amazing trees. Oh, the so juicy of an apple. It was great. I can't believe that a bushel would be maybe 5 cents, but an apple 5 cents? That's ridiculous.
No, please continue. Tell me more about the apples you used to have.
Oh, they were so red and juicy, and oh, they were so succulent, loving. Oh, we called them the honey apples. They were delicious.
All right, Nathaniel wins the session. He has somehow found a way to say one sentence and make the GM do all of his work for him.
What other types of apples did you used to have?
Well, they call them granny apples, or at least recently. I don't think they're granny apples.
Wouldn't the Granny Smith have been invented yet? I thought that one was invented entirely by accident.
You were invented by accident. You're not in the scene.
You beat me about 1 second.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Miss Satcha, could you repeat that, please?
The granny apples. They were massive little balls of just juicy
Massive
nutrition.
little balls.
Juicy nutrition, yes.
A large
Massive-
boulder the size of a small boulder.
Juicy nutrition.
And then there were the golden apples. Oh my goodness, those were so good. And then we had green apples. Green
Kill her.
apples.
She's clearly a creature. She thinks yellow delicious are good.
Golden delicious are delicious.
All right, we have to kill Francis.
But you know, one thing that I remember that they did a long time ago at some of the carnivals,
Please continue.
they made this like sugar concoction. I swear it's the sweetest thing ever. And they would put it over the apples. You might have heard of it. Caramel?
Caramel. Oh, please tell me more about caramel.
Caramel's just so sweet. Almost too sweet, I'm telling you. It's just too sweet. And expensive. Oh, don't tell me.
So is caramel
they-
more or less
they made
expensive
you
than the
spend-
apples? nowadays?
The caramels? What?
Is caramel more or less expensive than the apples nowadays?
I think that apples are more expensive than the caramels.
Okay.
But back then, the caramel was a special delectable delicacy because it came from down south. And,
Okay, it's right about now that the grandfather clock in the living room bongs really loud, and
Oh.
Mrs. Thatcher seems to realise that it's now about 3 hours past her bedtime.
oh my goodness, I can't believe I've been talking this long. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's quite all right, Miss Thatcher. This is, without a doubt, a pleasure. Tell you what, as soon as you're awake tomorrow, we'll meet up and we will continue this conversation exactly where we left off.
All right.
So this happens like 4 days.
Don't
in a
forget
row.
a thing. Oh no, we're gonna roleplay this out. We are going to roleplay this out.
This is going
Every
to go on for
day
about 4 days
going forward.
until eventually several people with a straitjacket turn up and take Nathaniel off because he's going to be driven mad with the eldritch knowledge of the origin of apples.
And when Nathaniel is carted off by the apple goblins, he'll learn.
It's funny you went that way instead of just saying, "Oh no, Fran died in her sleep."
And Fran goes to sleep.
I wonder if this will also work on our enemies. Like if I just keep talking to them to the point where the voices get tired of the conversation, will they just keep killing them off?
I can just
We have to end this conversation somehow.
Hmm.
Oh wait, I know the end conversation button. Kicks him in the dick.
All right. So, is that all you would like to do, Nathaniel? Or are you still...
I'd like to talk to Mrs. Thatcher the next day too. So, Mrs. Thatcher, please, you were telling me about the apples and the caramel.
Oh, the
Now, I've heard some people pronounce it caramel and some pronounce it caramel. Please, what do you think about this? Expand.
Francis suddenly materializes in the scene and clubs you over the head.
No,
I'm the crazy one.
No, the thing is, right, Mrs. Thatcher here, she has an epiphany, which is to now immediately dislike Nathaniel because, yes, there are two ways of pronouncing it. One is wrong and one is correct.
Yes, caramel.
No, it's fucking caramel.
Caramel.
Dude, you're American.
Well, Nathaniel's just going to agree with whatever she says.
Yeah, of course.
Caramel.
It's like the people who say Iowa versus Iowa.
It's caramel.
What? Wait, what?
There are people who in fact pronounce Iowa as Iowa.
Why would you pronounce it as Iowa?
I don't know.
I mean, unless I was
At
like...
this moment in time, I have never in my life heard anyone pronounce it as Iowa.
Actually,
Yeah,
I have.
Same.
And they were wrong to do so.
Well, it was also on The Music Man.
Yeah. That's one of the
Music Man.
Yes.
It's a musical.
Where he would sing about him being from Gary, Indiana.
Oh, you mean so he's one of your subjects?
Yes.
I mean, if you're pronouncing it off in the middle of a song, that's fine. That happens with a lot of shit.
No, actually,
Yeah.
it has been used interchangeably for decades. The most recent time being the 70s.
Right.
That was
well,
50
like-
years ago.
Yeah.
It did say.
we can move on. We can move on.
That was-
from
Moving
the
on.
70s.
That was before most of the people on this call were born.
Yeah.
So she will call it caramel.
No, she will call it, oh my god, oh my chest, and she has a heart attack and dies. It's so much excitement regarding the apples. Because see, when she went to bed, this is when Nathaniel finds out that when she goes into her bedroom and tells him to bugger off, she's got an entire apple-themed spread everywhere. There's a clock on the wall that's an apple with eyes.
No.
She's
But
an absolute apple maniac.
she does love her apples, though. You know, there are some apples out in the forest. We should go maybe apple picking sometime.
Yes, I think this is an amazing idea.
Oh, well, you've been chosen for sacrifice. Make it a character.
Remember what I said about the apple goblins?
Would you be interested in going with me?
Oh, I'd love to.
All right. In that case, how would I make you some apple cobbler?
please, Miss Thatcher, tell me, I may need to be a little bit late, so please tell me exactly, street by street, how to reach the grove where you'll be doing your apple picking.
Street? It's in the back.
Yeah, she points out the kitchen window. You see a whole pile of trees. There's a fence with a gate.
My apologies.
I love my apples. They're so delicious. Anyway, yeah, the
all
orchard's in
love
the
your
back. So maybe we should go apple picking.
Of course.
Yes. So, anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yes! We could go apple picking and I could make you some apple cobbler.
Apple cobbler sounds delicious. What other things can be made with apples?
Oh, so many things can be made with apples. There's apple jam, apple jelly. There are two different things, by the way. And, let's see here. We have apple cider.
And everything fades into white noise, and the screen goes gray. As the
Oh no, you're not getting away from this. Oh no.
Then the screen comes back up, and they're in the middle of the woods.
The woods that are
Still
somehow
talking about apples.
the woods that are somehow attached to her backyard.
Yes.
Yes, actually.
Please continue.
And you hear some...
I've heard apple jam. So far,
yes,
I've
apple
heard
jam,
jam,
apple
and
strudels, apple
strudel,
cobbler,
yes. Apple cobbler,
apple pie. Although I haven't ever gotten a good recipe for apple pie. I wonder where I could go see if Aunt Ethel might have it. Oh, but she's gone. She died. Oh well.
Oh my god, you just remember that your friend who might have something died like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's why Ethel hasn't been around for years. She went and kicked a bucket about 15 years back.
Forget all about that. Oh my goodness, yes.
It's about this time that you come across an area that you might need some gardening tools.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Here's a basket. Now you pick some from there, and I'll pick some from over here.
right away.
Make sure
Now,
that
please,
they're
I
ripe
only
and
heard
juicy.
I only heard 5 things you can make with apples.
Oh,
You
there-
said there were many more.
There are many, many more.
Please go on
Oh,
at length.
I'm surprised they're not going to kill you for that. Oh, there's apple pulp. There's apple. We can make apple pops.
Oh no, they know who to blame.
Lemon pops.
You asked what I was doing the next day.
And she just goes on about it. I'm not going any further than that.
No, please. I want to hear each one.
No.
I've got comments and thoughts and opinions on them.
What is your favorite apple?
My favorite apple?
Yes.
Granny Smith.
Granny Smith. Those are some good apples.
Throws up her dress. Well, get to eating, boy.
All right, let's continue to pick these apples, and I'm gonna fade it out. We're gonna go to Nathaniel. What or not Nathaniel? Sorry.
Actually,
Right, we had right back in.
Tell me more
actually-
about the apples, please, Mrs. Thatcher. I'm dying to know.
well, hold on. I actually do have something I would like Nathaniel to do while he's hanging out in the woods with his elderly woman with way too much of an interest in apples.
Okay. All right.
I would like for Nathaniel to roll sharp.
With a -1.
No, he could roll it normally.
Okay.
This is for something unrelated to that.
Oh, okay.
All right, give me one moment.
And then we have the Dutch apples. Those are good.
Now, how does one make a Dutch apple?
Oh, you have to bake it. You take some water, okay, and you put it in a pan, and then you put the apple inside the pan with the water. You make sure you first core it though, and then you bake it.
So, a Dutch apple is a
You
cored,
put
wet, baked apple.
Well, it's baked, and then when you pull it out, then you
Yes, please, go on.
dash on a little bit of lemon and maybe a bit of
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I mean, you never just dash on a bit of lemon after you pull it out. I mean, Jesus.
well, there are damn apples.
Ooh. Okay, so it's round about the time when she mentions about giving it some some lemon after you pull it out. That you get a sensation like you're being watched. And taking a sly glance around the forest area that you're in, the sensation doesn't leave, but you don't actually see anything. You just have that feeling like something's watching with intent.
Well, I hope whoever's listening enjoys our long, tedious conversations about apples.
Honestly,
So go
I
on, after
probably
Dutch
laugh,
apples,
right?
what's the next one? Please continue.
Yeah, you do feel like you're being watched. This whole time.
I always feel, said was, just call me Rockwell, because I always feel like someone's watching me.
Karsa, Cervantes, Corvic, you guys have better access to him. Come on, punish him.
Come on. Oh, come on. You've made way worse ones than that that deserve orbital nuke.
Anyway, she doesn't
I mean,
notice that anything is watching, so she wouldn't know anything like that. Oh, let me see here. What other types of lovely, apples could we consider? Apple. And she just continues on with have you ever had fried apples? They're very crispy. They're a little bit,
I'm sorry, did you say fried apples or
Yeah.
fried apples?
fried apples.
Fried apples. Can't say that I have. How do you make them?
Well, you cut them up in like wedges. You make sure you take out the core, of course. Don't forget about taking out the core. You got to take out the core.
Of course.
And
Where the volume starts going down.
what? I mean,
It's just the
and then you get this big vat of corn, the corn oil syrup, whatever that stuff is. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember. Anyway, you put it in there and you light a fire and it goes and it's like, whoa! And then you
they
pick
get
it.
twitching along.
And then when it finally is bubbly and good, then you pull it out and you got fried apples.
And
Oh,
it goes all over you.
Shoot, I forgot some. You gotta put it first in. I did. I forgot something. Oh yes. I forgot the eggs. You put them in the eggs. You have to,
But they ain't got
mix
no
them.
more.
Oh, for sake, now you're going out with eggs. Oh my god, this is getting even worse.
You should know my oven's always clear.
You put them in the eggs. Then you put them in the flour, and then you put them in the oil. And that's the way you can make some really good apples. Now, when they start to float, then you know they're done.
Now, normally you gotta wrap it to protect your oven, but I don't need to worry about that no more.
We just call that God's little gift to us older ones.
Have you ever had an apple cookie?
Yes,
an
many
apple
times.
cookie. An apple cookie?
I have had apple cookies.
Oh, they're delicious too, And she just
Nah.
goes on, I can't do any more of that.
No, I done lied to you. My favorite apple was actually the one that looks like a baby's arm holding it.
Now, actually, I like the green
Go on.
apples. The green apples are amazing. They're not too tart, they're not too sweet. They're just right.
Karsa's doing everything in her power to keep me from ruining this joke. It's not working.
Damn.
But I'm dying.
All right, now, dear voices, I will ask: do you wish to cut away to another character?
Yes! But you do still feel like you're being watched.
I always feel like somebody's watching me. I don't have any privacy.
Oh.
Oh my. So you like being watched, huh?
Not particularly. But you get used to it. I'm used to
However,
anything.
do you
Not for long
even
enough.
tell her that you are being watched?
No.
Okay, then she just keeps on going.
It's her. Like, she's out here every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whatever is out here must be used to her by now.
Doesn't seem to phase her at all. She just keeps on going. And you get through most of the day, and she's still talking about apples, and you guys actually she does make the apple cobbler for you. And it's delicious.
Hey, how about this? I got a phone number. How about them apples?
Applesauce, bitch.
Oh my god, applesauce! That's right!
Yeah, I made a Jay and Silent Bob reference. What?
It does get to be more later in the evening. And what do you do after you've had the apple cobbler?
Seriously, I'm actually trying to preserve my voice.
Well, unfortunately, you've blundered your way into being the inciting incident for the next mystery.
Yeah, actually.
I'm going to ask Thatcher to tell me about each and every one of her children and grandchildren.
Oh my. All right, we're gonna fade out there.
At length.
Not right now.
Well, one of my sons is named
Don't
Jack. And he's
start what you can't finish.
one of my sons is named Jack, and he's got this lovely wife named Marguerite. They just recently had a boy named Lucas. Oh, and his little sister Zoe. You know, then there's my other son Joe. I don't really talk to him too much. He's a little too rough around the edges.
Spends a lot of time punching things.
Yeah.
Oh god, he is.
She does talk. I'm gonna actually not do it at length, but we'll talk. We'll do that maybe another time. Let's move on to Elle. But yeah, she starts talking about her kids and about the last time she saw them and how she misses them, and then she has a Alzheimer's moment, like I just did, and forgets about what you were talking about, and then she looks at as the clock chimes again. She's, I've never been this late to bed. Well, I'll talk to you tomorrow if you want, but right now I need to get some rest. Hope you enjoyed the cobbler.
Oh, I did very much.
And then she goes to bed. Now, what do you do after she's gone to bed?
I go to bed.
You go to bed. Okay. All right. Moving on. Elle, what are you doing for the week that you have downtime?
Step one is we had to Brandy to let her know to expect a letter, or I forgot how we set this up, that there's an opportunity for a second farm if they want it.
Oh, Jethro's been wanting to have a farm forever.
No, it's a decent sized plot of land. Well, once the church moves in to remove the graveyard from the land.
Do they have to remove the graveyard?
It's probably for the best. It's attached to the house, so if you want to be staying in the same area as the house, it'll literally be outside the wall.
Oh, well, in that case, yeah, it will take some time. What kind, do you know what type of ground
No.
we're going to be dealing with? No?
Not at all.
Then I'll have to talk to my dad about it. I know Jethro's been wanting to move out.
I know many things. Agriculture isn't one of them.
Yes. But
There's only one type of plowing that I know how to do.
Thank you so much for thinking of us. We've had such a hard time recently. Especially after that fire. Maybe we can get somewhere with it. Maybe we can move a little bit of this. Yeah, I think my brothers probably would be better there. Mom and Dad wouldn't move there, that's for sure. They want to stay where they're at. Is it a nice place?
No, you're gonna need a new house.
Oh. So it's gonna take a while. So yeah, it would definitely
Yeah.
be Jethro. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll probably takes like, 30 seconds to give a generic descriptor of the house. Meanwhile, Brandy's getting more and more ew, and she realizes just in how bad a state the entire manor is.
Yes, she does realize this, and then she's like, yeah,
Oh, that would be a huge undertaking. Fuck that.
well, I'll tell Jethro he may not take it, but it's an opportunity that he didn't
Well-
even think about.
Here's the thing. When it comes to the demolition side of things, the town will be more than happy to assist. Actually, it might even be in ashes when you get there.
Why would it be in ashes?
They didn't like it, don't worry about it.
Okay. Right. Well, I will tell my family about it. Thank you for thinking of us.
No, it's no problem. I guess I do have to find a contact for the show. Oh, wait, I think Hayden. Or not Hayden. That's not his name.
Hayden?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I was about to ask her who's Hayden.
Probably does. It's well known around here. And I believe that you would probably be meeting at the speakeasy, so she would probably head there. Do you want to cut a rug?
Sure. Well, and look at Jack, be like, I just need a message given to Hayden. Time skip to speaking to Hayden.
Alright. Alright.
Sorry, I
I
was
got,
eating a biscuit.
alright. Weird thing to say when I can see you doing it.
Yeah, you know what? As you walk into the office, yeah, he's sitting there eating a biscuit.
So,
I'm like, how can I help you?
do you have any contacts with in the church? There's a graveyard that needs to be moved.
Oh, is this to do with the manor house?
Yeah, there's a attached graveyard, and if people are going to be taking over the land, it's probably best that the graveyard's moved so they don't accidentally disturb it and cause a second haunting.
That's a good idea, yeah. And he just whips out his little notebook, starts flicking through. I can definitely find someone. He eventually flicks through and like, he's not exactly hiding the book or anything. You notice that he comes across the local parish that several of the group went to before, which name has completely escaped me because I now associate it with Magica being the 1920 Discord moderator.
Except I'm a Reddit moderator.
Yeah, now you are.
It's the Lewis Manor.
That's the one, yeah. Yeah, he comes across like Lewis Manor. It's crossed out to parish. Well, I'll send one of the boys over to see if we can have a little conflab.
Yeah, it's probably best if I talk to them here. Well, anywhere that isn't the church.
I will certainly have someone come over. And he makes a little note to send out. Is there anything else I can do for you just now?
No, that's it. I'll just turn head out and wait for the meeting with said priest.
Yeah. Couple minutes go by. Somebody comes out of the room with a letter, hurries off. You're basically left waiting for probably about 40, 45, like maybe 50 minutes. So almost an hour.
Yeah, we'll wait
Until,
up. Wait upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
While you've headed back up there, eventually you do see a priest and a not exactly obviously attractive looking, but you can definitely tell that this woman is not the standard that you would get as a nun in the church. The pair of them coming in, she kind of looks like she's not that comfortable in the whole get-up that she's in.
I think perhaps she's fairly new to it.
Yeah.
I will
And
spin Brandy to a new partner and be like, "Oh, that's my meeting."
yeah, because as they head over, like Jack sort of looks up and there's that clear sort of moment of, oh, this is not bar stuff, and heads over, nudges the door open, just basically lets them walk through.
Yep. And head behind, follow behind them. I guess which would be a little weird because be like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Yeah, Jack keeps the door open for you, and yeah, they head straight to where the office is, and basically just walk straight in, and you hear the guy of the pair of them, dressed full father get up, walks in, and he just, "Oh, Hayden, oh, we need to talk about stuff," and it basically devolves into clearly
Oh,
Hayden's.
it's your cousin.
Yeah, it's a bit of Nico, it's your cousin. You immediately get the impression Hayden's not super happy about having to talk to this guy.
Well, you see, as they're off talking over there, the camera pans over to Elle sweeping up said nun's hand and kissing it and being like, "I didn't know the church had such lovely creatures in it."
Yeah, she just basically is like a rabbit in the headlights. She has absolutely no idea how to respond.
What is your name? I'm Elle, by the way. I'm actually part of this meeting. Specifically, I'm the one that called it. For the situation.
She,
We'll maintain the soothe on her to bring down the nerves.
my name is Sister Esther. Now, you've heard
Oh.
this name because of the certain cock blocking that happened the other day.
Yep, I see Francis walking down the hallway. I immediately close the door while
That is a valid response.
maintaining eye contact with Francis with the "You're not in this room now" close.
Yeah, he comes walking around the corner, the eyes flick to him immediately, they reach over. He sort of pauses and he's got that like hand raised as if to, excuse me, and then just the door closing and they're like, oh.
It opens for a slight second. One of those hotel signs that goes "Do not disturb in meeting" goes on the handle.
Yeah.
No idea where they got it.
Well, the funny thing is, it's not even Elle's hand that does that. It is a jet black leather gloved hand that does that.
Yeah, you don't even notice it.
And as it's retracting, it just flips off Francis.
Sounds about right.
I mean, Hayden's not that obviously aggressive towards him.
Oh, I thought this was just random supernatural other hand. Okay.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Francis just sees this and is like, well, back to work.
Yeah,
Like,
see, you had come over to look for some textbooks that were being kept in that area because it is the actual library above. So you were over there looking for that stuff and thought they might have them down where they keep the weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
Suddenly you hear him chanting Klatos, Ferrata, and Necktie.
so she clears her voice. And says, yes, Sister Esther. Yes, that's who I am. Well, thank you. We were called for a situation in dealing with a cemetery.
graveyard, but yes.
And where is this?
In a small village of Tamesworth. It was originally attached to a manor house that is going to be demolished and the land and potentially rebuilt and the land going back into use. Now, before I continue, how aware are you of, well, I guess there's
Ghosts?
no point being coy. I was going to say the supernatural, but yes.
I am part of a group called the Exor Sisters.
Elle cocks their head slightly. Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Seems the church is getting a little more progressive. Not that I mind, by the way.
We, well, we're not... The parish knows where we exist. The Vatican does not.
Well, there's a lot of things they don't know, and what the Vatican doesn't know can't hurt it.
We're not well accepted. Oh, it's not. Oh, Exorcism Special. Oh, okay, sorry. It's not Exor Sisters. It's Exorcism Specialist Squad. I'm in training for it.
Yeah, the way that she says the Exor Sisters name is like the. Clearly, you get the idea that this is the name that they have for themselves, like to try and lighten the mood, because of course all the stuff in the church is super serious.
Yes, we call ourselves the Exor Sisters, but it's the Exorcism Specialist Squad.
Good, that means I don't have to hold anything back. The manor house was haunted. The problem has been dealt with, but I don't want a new one getting kicked up because they disturbed the graveyard.
So we'll need to be doing an exorcism
No, simply moving the graves
carefully.
the correct way.
Yes.
How far in your training are you? As still in the background, there's still Nico's cousin going, ah.
Who's doing that?
Apparently the priest is played by the guy who voiced Nico Bellic's cousin in Grand Theft Auto 4.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the random conversation going in the background, it sounds like, you know, the priest and who is Father O'Malley, and Hayden have history where clearly Hayden is like tolerant of the guy's existence, but preferably would not like to deal with him. He'd rather be dealing with someone else, but unfortunately, O'Malley is the contact he has in the local area. So there's a tension with him and the other guy. He's clearly not getting it.
Yeah. For Cain, welcome Cain. You missed a little bit of what was going on. We're basically doing some downtime. And just recently, the Exor Sisters have come to...
Not yet. I haven't got that far.
Yeah.
It took me a moment.
I'm B-Red, okay.
I mean, if all it took was my voice, then perfect. To be just like, I add a new move to L. I just have to edit soothe.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I would not be against it being a side effect of soothing voice.
Yeah,
Bye.
you suddenly sound like David Bowie now.
Anyway. As she goes, moving graves and keeping it all calm is something we're really good for. We've done a few of those.
It's figured Hayden would know know the proper people to call.
And as far as how long, it's been a few months.
Oh,
I'm
you're
not
new.
I'm not a full sister yet.
L looks her up and down and just, in their head. No, you are full. But we'll save that one for now. Well, Dresser, if you ever need help in your training, you can come to me. I know things the church doesn't.
Of what sort?
Hmm?
Of what sort?
Dealing with the supernatural.
Ah, yes.
Other things too. And I know things the church won't let you learn.
There's a lot of things the church won't let me learn.
And this is the... I will give a wry grin. Yes. And I know many of them. One subset in particular I'm very skilled in. But we could save that for another day.
Is Cain even here?
No, he's just listening.
Alright.
And if you ever would like private lessons, I can give you contact information.
Oh. At this point in time, I guess what we need to know is when we are able to be there, when you need us.
The logistics I'm going to leave entirely on your side of things. I've done my job. As while you're training to be an exorcist, I guess my job is exorcist adjacent.
Oh. How so?
I also deal with the supernatural, but I'm in a much more direct fashion.
I see. Right. So do you give her the address?
Oh yeah, that's all right to get there. I'll look over at the conversation and Hayden dying and me knowing a way to annoy him if I really need to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I suppose this meeting is entirely you and I at this point.
Oh, I guess they're busy.
You know,
Yeah, Hayden has that look of like, please just give me the rope, I'll hang myself now. As O'Malley is going on about like stuff to do with he went on a trip a few months ago to one of the sites in Italy, and he's regaling him with the fucking size of every single stone.
I mean-
It's one of those kind of things.
Al is also vaguely getting tangentially bored listening to this man. He'll turn to Esther. This room is entirely too loud. Why don't we adjourn to another one and I can give you all the details?
Very well. Let's do so.
So El will find one of the smaller sitting rooms where they have no choice but to be sitting very close.
Very close. Okay.
Yeah, when you walk into one of them, there's a guy sitting there having a smoke and a cup of coffee. Kind of glances up. There's a moment like,
Oh no! He glances up and it's immediately that scene in every anime where they're glancing up and there's that person like glaring down at them and they don't even have to say anything. It's just
Yeah, that's my point. The guy's like, oh, he wants to say like, God damn it, I'm on my break. Go and piss off. This is a staff room. And then he's like, no, I better not say anything. And he just kind of shuffles out.
All right.
yeah, it's in the village of Tamsworth. It's not that far, but it is quite backwoods. So I would recommend heavier vehicles if you can have access to them, or making sure the wagons you're bringing are set for rugged terrain.
Rugged terrain, of course. And so, well, I believe that it might be better if we use a cart of some sort instead. A wagon of some instead, then at least
I'm in finally.
Oh, good. Welcome in.
Hey, I'm working my way in.
You're missing it.
You spell that SMOTH.
Smooth.
I mean,
my.
I'm not planning on succeeding in one go. This is gonna take some time.
No, because of course this is a sister and she's still, trying to stay with it.
If the flake is there,
Nope, he
Cain's
already got
gonna be
cleared away.
The flake basically walked in, got glared at, got door slammed in the face. It was like, I didn't even do anything. Oh well, back to work.
The door wasn't slammed in the face. The door was closed with menacing intent.
Because El heard the story, immediately saw Francis and was just like,
no, get the fuck away.
and it wasn't even El's hand. Francis watched El slide their foot over to the door and close it.
And Francis is just kind of standing there like, I was just coming for some books.
That's the thing you vaguely see Sister on the other side. You're like, wait, never mind, I get it. I know what I did.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, Francis would not intervene with L because he knows what L is capable of.
Oh yeah, you're smart enough to intervene with Cain.
I mean, strictly speaking, you all know what L's capable of because you all witnessed L, quote unquote, fail to heal someone who subsequently died
Suddenly
horribly.
got bloody mess perked.
I mean,
Yeah.
also shove their hand through somebody's chest and rip out their heart.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. You witnessed L, in fact, perform the Heart Ripper from Mortal Kombat.
Kane's got a big sword, and Francis is pretty sure he can outrun Cain. He does not think he can outrun L.
Probably not. Anyway.
Because for what it's worth, he doesn't know that L's immortal.
She's working very close with you, and she gets out her notebook and making sure that she's got all the information now.
And while they're saying details, El will make sure that they accidentally, quote unquote, their hands brush together.
Oh.
Oh my god, we're gonna have some public hand holding.
Giving a blush
Wait, whoa, whoa.
sister.
You're gonna jump some
Wow.
ankle next. Scandalous.
Scandalous. Yes.
Oh, Nav already knows the pictures of if El gets a hold of the Exor Sisters, what their new uniform will be.
And holding in public? You slut.
Exactly.
Duh.
No, he's oh no, she's a sheik
couldn't
and
be
she's a
more proud.
dame. So. So. Oh, yes, and she's continuing with that. Occasionally, yeah, you touch. Um,
But only once, maybe twice. We're not
mhm,
gonna push it too far.
yeah. She gets a little bit antsy in her chair because it kind of like gets her a little bit hot and bothered. But then she goes back to what she's doing. Any other things we need to know?
Not for that particular case. Well, and I will give the rundown of the entire haunting.
Okay. No. It's a good thing you made it out. And that everything went okay. Did anybody get hurt?
Well, one of us got a little hurt, but he brought it on himself.
How so?
He'll-
There's a sudden flashback to in detail of Cain jumping through a wall,
Yeah.
then falling off a cliff and saved literally by a bush.
And also threatening the ghost over and over and over again while it was already starting to damage him.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're ever looking for what not to do on an exorcism, here's decent guidelines.
Yeah, it like literally just explains everything that Cain did.
Wow.
Now, if you're looking to piss the ghost off superly, then do everything Cain did.
Well, no, I was also trying to piss it off
And these
and succeeded.
and these moon lilies, they actually glow when you see them?
Oh, yeah, some of them. It might have just been a residual supernatural energy in the air,
I wonder-
environment.
I wonder if the moon lily still will do that now, or...
Well, if you happen to find some, bring some pots with you and bring them over, because I'm sure the new owners are going to remove them.
Of course, yes, of course. She writes down about the moon lilies. Well, that's an interesting idea. That would work real well. And you continue on with your conversation. Is there anything else you would like to speak about?
No, I was just gonna ask Sister Esther about herself after this.
Oh, she will tell you that. Let me see if I can get the information that we had for her. There's not a lot of information. She grew up with the church. Thought it was the right thing to do to become to give back, because she was actually an orphan. And she's giving back to the church the way she can, and found herself involved in her own haunting one time. And that's how the Exor Sisters got to learn about her.
Yeah, the way she'll give you some like basic information on like this project that, funnily enough, it was actually started in the Vatican. However, the guy who like started this idea of why don't we try a bit more modernization of this whole exorcism thing, and specifically having people trained in this specifically, rather than just whoever's in the area that might know some, but these people that we can actually call on to send out to do this job. He ended up getting excommunicated, and the entire thing kind of got wiped from the project list. It was one of his subordinates that decided to keep it going away from the Vatican, since they basically it got tarred with the brush from the incident with the guy that founded it, because he became persona non grata. Anything he was involved with was basically getting mothballed or swept under rugs and such like,
or set to the torch.
Yeah. And that's why it's not exactly under what you were about to do is not being approved by the Vatican. And
Is- Now,
Hmm?
is she aware of all of that and telling me that, or is this just behind the curtain stuff?
Yeah, she gives you like rumors that she's heard from
Okay.
a couple
Yeah.
other people and trainers, because it's that whole thing. She would have expected it to be directly under the Vatican, but then had heard these rumors about stuff. And it's one of those things, like, you've been around long enough that you know, yes, this is 100% how the Vatican would be assholes to people,
Yeah.
because they've done it before with things like this.
All right. So I guess we're gonna start down this path a little faster than I thought, given this information. Well, Sister Esther, I admire your determination and your grit to want to pursue this line of work as a means of giving back, but I would caution you against having blind faith in an institution run by man.
No.
Because that is exactly what the Vatican is.
I will admit there are times that I feel I'm a little bit not yet, what is the word? Ready to take the vows. Because the fact that the church is, well, yes, run by man, but also you have to remember though that even though it's ran by man, it is been accepted by God, and the fact is that our Pope is anointed by God.
All right, she's not ready yet. Well, maybe. Or
Yeah, there's some hints that she's not a dyed-in-the-wool follower.
She's
Yeah.
not there yet, but she's definitely not a die-the-wool follower.
Yeah,
I get it.
there's that idea of, she kind of seems to be more confident in terms of like things that she can outright do something about, rather than simply, quote unquote, having faith.
Yeah,
as
and
it
the rhetoric of the faith is all she's going to be teaching, or she would be saying, is what she knows about the church. But if you get into a direct debate with her, she's not going to be able to be successful in that debate.
No, we're not there yet. We will shatter her world later. But again, I caution you when dealing with the institutions of man, because they can claim that what they do is in God's name, or deigned, or not deigned.
Ordained by God.
Yeah, ordained by God. How much have you learned of the Crusades?
She will give you the basic rundown that she knows.
The whitewashed variants.
Yes. the not so true whitewash variants. Quite frankly, it's a tragedy to have any life be destroyed in war and crusade and whatnot. But
True.
I know that they were trying to do what they knew what was best, and bringing them to God. And that's about all she knows.
That is what they told people.
Yeah.
That isn't what happened. There was a bunch of corrupt men in power who simply wanted to stamp out the lives of others because they didn't follow the same God that they did, and used their God's name and word to put them to the sword.
Why'd they do that?
Because power corrupts. And these men were corrupted thoroughly.
I take it you are not a Catholic?
In a sense, I am.
St. Peter comes walking through the back of the room. Hey, what's going on? Yo, homie.
You're not real, Kill. God, I gotta put that dude down every 2 years. It's getting annoying. I follow the will of heaven, but I don't follow the institutions of man.
Interesting. Were you treated badly when you were perhaps part of the church?
I will laugh at ever being considered part of the church. Once. But once was enough.
I have heard rumors, though, that exorcisms are not well looked upon by the Vatican. I know that that Father O'Malley understands what I do. He keeps it under wraps, per se.
As he should. But should the Vatican or any of their agents come for you or show up, you can find safety with me if you need to.
Well, I hope it doesn't come to that. I hope we do what God's work requires us to do, instead of having some situation happen that should not happen. I'm looking for a word.
I'll leave you with this. You don't need God's will to do the right thing.
But it does help.
Some people. Any word or testament can be twisted to suit someone else's own goals. Remember, I would like you to think on that the next time you're hearing rhetoric spouted in fiery passion.
All right, sir. Elle. Now, do you look like a female to her or a male to her?
That's up to you.
Okay, I'm gonna say male. She's gonna say sir.
And I will be like, I fully believe in what you're doing, but I need you to understand that there's more out there than they're willing to tell you. And I don't really think this requires a roll, but I will hold up their hands, palm up, and just let a small amount of like divine magic play over their fingers, and they'll like wave their hand around.
Yeah, that's like minor enough.
That's too minor for a roll. What?
I said, I know more than the church is willing to teach you.
You are an interesting person, I must say, Elle. Very interesting. We will talk again, of course. And thank you for thinking of me and us. I will be heading with my sisters probably within a couple of days to see where Tamsworth is and see what we need to do.
Oh, I'll like head out a map. Be like, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, Hayden won't miss it. Don't worry about it. You sure? Yeah, I'll tell him. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
All right. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the map. And she considers how the route. Now, is this a good route here, or should we worry about anything? Because she notices that it's kind of a damp area where there would have been a wetlands.
Yeah, and I'll be like, this is something I'm not that great with, but I'll help where I can.
Yeah, you're able to like sort of trace out there's a few sort of back roads that aren't super like obvious on the map, but like you were able to take your own car up those pathways, so you're aware that they are probably the best routes through there for vehicles.
Yeah, you seem to have the God on your hands to get you to where you need to go without getting you stuck into the mud. So you know exactly where to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like a GM thought it would be kind of funny for a backwater village to suddenly have a flash as fuck Mercedes turn up.
Yeah, like maybe, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh no, my car has divinity in it too.
Yes, there's such
What even
divinity.
is mud?
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, maybe your car flies because I don't know, maybe it's a vampire. God, please tell me someone knows that reference.
That sounds like a Futurama reference.
No.
Anyone
heard of the film? Anyone heard of the film The Room?
Yeah. Oh wait, the Tommy Wiseau one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so in an interview, years later, so someone I want to say it was one of the cameramen, mentioned about this conversation he overheard with Tommy speaking to one of the like visual effects supervisors or something, and he mentioned about at the end of the film he wanted a scene where Tommy gets in the car, and Johnny gets in the car because the character's name is Johnny, isn't it? Anyway, he gets in the car and the car flies away. And the guy is looking at him like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why would the car fly? And his answer was literally to turn around and say, I don't know, maybe it's a vampire. So, at least in one conversation, the main character's car in The Room was a vampire.
Yep, okay.
That is a factual thing that happened.
I remember that one.
That film could have been even more weird if he had even more cash from somewhere.
Alright. But I was gonna say this. By the time they got to the sitting room, I had let Sue drop.
Okay.
So that last section was basically all her. But basically when they're done talking, I'll open the door and let her out.
Okay.
Move to Hayden's office, and we'll just kind of like, not like break open the door, but we'll forcefully and loudly open the door and look at the father and be like, all right, we're done, you can leave.
Yeah, the guy's in the process of writing down stuff on a map that Hayden's given him, because he's also given him the information about the manor and everything. And he turns around like, oh, where's Esther? Where is she? And then sees her walking along at the back and sort of stopping, lifting a hand. Oh, there she is. Thank you, Hayden, for all the information. We will be right on that. And you could clearly tell he's just being an asshole. and Hayden's like actually sat down. The tie has been pulled slightly. He actually looks somewhat disheveled in comparison to the usually immaculate appearance. and he's just like, yes. Oh.
Well, I mean, if he's gonna be an asshole, Cain's just gonna pop his head around the corner. Hey, when was the last time you baptized your toys?
Nope, you get something thrown at you before you finish that sentence.
You see Esther there, and she's like, What?
No, he doesn't get to finish it because El already knows where he's going with it, and it just grabs like something off Hayden's desk and
The
just throws it at
stapler.
him.
He just chucks the stapler at Kate. Shit!
Ignore him. He's had a less than stellar history with the church.
I see.
Well, it could not have been my church. I would
Just
never
kidding.
allow such things in my
Well,
church.
You don't have one, so that makes sense.
Kane muttering.
And then
Muttering,
that-
like sputtering.
Wow,
Doesn't matter. Fuck
church
not.
or whatever the word with P starts with. The
Parish?
Well, here's the
parish. That's the word. Yes, church, parish. It's all the same in the end.
it depends what end you're talking about, and El will like stand with their back to the door with their head extended out, as in the get the with the courteous get the fuck out.
He just came laughing in the other room.
Yeah, he kind of gets the idea that El doesn't exactly take to his blatantly bullshit attempts at humor, and he just kind of turns back to Hayden. He's like, "Well, we must do this again sometime, old friend." And he gets a look from Hayden. It's like, "You call me that one more time, I'm going to stab you in the throat." and he kind of like
They're
chuckles,
going to
walking
need
out.
Jesus to fucking identify you. You say that again.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
Anyway, BRB.
yeah, it's this general thing of Hayden clearly cannot fucking stand him. You're not entirely sure if it's the being with the church or if it's just him.
No, it's him.
Yeah, probably it's just him.
Because El already
Uh,
also kind of doesn't like this man.
Yeah, and he heads out and starts to like show the stuff to Esther. She shows what El gave her, and he's like, "Ah, well, we both got the same. Excellent, we can get started." And suddenly just starts marching off. And she just kind of does a sheepish kind of, "I suppose I better go."
I'll walk them out. That's fine.
Mhm.
She blatantly makes a point of staying several like meters behind him as he's marching out.
Yes.
She's far more interested in being walked out by you than accompanying him.
He's a bit much, isn't he?
Kane just
Slightly.
Elle would be able to hear this along with obviously Hayden. Kane's just gonna mutter "prick" as like not toward Elle but toward the priest.
He can be, but he knows. He means well.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there is actually a moment for Cain that you do notice that when you and several of the others had gone out to the Lewis parish, he was a lot more reserved. It would kind of come across as that he's potentially putting this on to annoy Hayden.
On
Oh, I'm
purpose.
fully aware.
Yeah, because there's also like as soon as he's outside, and he kind of pauses to wait for Esther, he does kind of seem to relax a bit. You know, it's almost like the mask falling a little bit. And they've got a taxi waiting outside, and they head off with that. And when you head back in, Hayden has actually come out and is actually sitting at the bar having a drink. Just saying to Jack, like, "Oh my god, if that man comes back here." Do you think Ashley would be annoyed if I put him in a vat of acid?
You think Elle would let me stab him?
Do you think Ashley would know if I dissolved the body in acid? And
That's-
Jack's just kind of standing there with the pint glass and the cloth, like, she might.
Kane's just gonna look at Hayden. I mean, that's if they find the body first.
El appears behind both of you, puts a hand on both of their shoulders. I would know, and that's enough.
And Hayden just kind of chuckles, sort of like, "Oh, such a history with that man."
Because if he goes missing, you two are suspects 1 and 2. And I'll let you determine which one's 1 and which one's 2.
I vote I'm number 1.
That gets a laugh from Hayden and Jack. He's just like, it's
I just fucking hate
wishful
Catholics.
thinking at best.
All right, so Cain, you have a week. What do you do during the week?
Bang his girlfriend.
Yeah, kinda.
He probably was doing that for most of the time. Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Other than that, basically just kind of
it's
taking over Francis' house.
Well, as soon as you walk into the general store, you immediately get beat up with a
Rubber chicken.
with a stuffed toy, with Kara shouting at you in very kind of thick Irish accent. It's enough, you know the accent enough to be able to dig through it and get to the statement of where the fuck have you been? Do you know how fucking worried I was? You asshole! As she basically.
Did you get my flowers?
Yeah, and she attempted to beat you to death with a stuffed toy.
Well, if we
Lovingly.
remember correctly, it looked like a.
I'm pretty sure that stuffed toy's got rocks in it.
No. No,
Well,
if you
there's probably a
remember,
couple
it was
rocks.
like it was kind of like a gerbil.
It's like, 1, okay, I missed you too. 2, you know I can barely understand you when you're screaming at me with your accent like that.
You get immediately slapped.
She grabs your lapels and like, I was so fucking worried. Don't do that.
Hey, it was ghosts, not me.
The fuck do you mean ghost?
Haunted house.
There's just that kind of like deflated sigh.
Only you.
Can't prevent forest fires.
Exactly.
Hey, remember, kids, if you prevent forest fires, Smokey the Bear is out of a job.
That's a job that should not exist.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, you're putting a bear out at work. Also, have you guys actually seen the original cartoons of that? They're kind of freaky.
Yeah, actually, I have.
Yep.
You know, I saw one of them recently. It was just like, why would you animate it like that? It looks weird.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Yeah, honestly, I expected any moment for it to turn into one of those analog horrors.
Hey, don't you insult analog horror with Smokey the Bear.
I'm not going to insult analog horror with Smokey the Bear, but what I'm going to say is some of the characters may survive long enough to actually witness certain analog horrors that I have right in a text file.
Okay, let's do this. I like this idea.
All right. So anyway,
You
you're
gotta wait until at least the 60s.
All right. So as we were, you are getting accosted by your girlfriend, and
A very angry Irish woman who Cain can barely understand when she's yelling at him.
There's the thing, you say that, and then she's like, "Oh, you can't understand me," and then she immediately starts going into Gaelic. You understand me now?
I was so worried.
Honestly, it's the one kind of situation where it's a shame that I don't actually speak Gaelic. I've never lived far enough north that it would actually be a thing. Although, I used to watch. I don't know if you guys had this show in the States, but over here we have a cartoon called Postman Pat, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a kid, I used to watch that show in Gaelic, which is why I'm aware that Postman Pat is Padraig Post.
It was Postman Pat done with stop motion.
Yeah, it was plastic figures.
Yes and no. Yeah. Oh yeah. It was an actual stop motion one. It wasn't puppets. It wasn't Thunderbirds.
Okay. So, anything else that you do, Cain, for the week?
Oh, sorry, I just have to mention that if anyone's watching this video later and you're immediately picturing the CGI version of Postman Pat, go back and watch your originals, you filthy casual. Continue.
Just
I
kind of.
had the tapes of the British
Doesn't matter.
dub because I got them from Canada.
Moving on.
Kane's kind of stalking up Francis / Kane's house, because Kane just took over Francis' house.
Yeah? Yeah?
He's squatting.
No, you
Permission.
It's not squatting when you've agreed to allow him in there.
and you technically gave him the key.
Yeah.
So he's not a
Oh
squatter.
my god, you actually did that.
Yeah?
His name's not on the deed. Technically, he is a squatter.
No, dude.
No.
You know when you live in a house? Like, is your name on the deed to your house?
Not to my knowledge.
Then would you consider yourself a squatter in your own house?
Yes.
Well, then that's because you're an idiot.
I mean, if you wanted to actually do something about it, you would just call him a trespasser.
Oh yeah, that's the word. Thank you.
Anyway, so pretty much that's your week. All right.
Yeah, hanging out with Car, and just stocking up stuff for the house, like food and all that. Because
Okay.
Francis doesn't live there, and half the stuff he had in the fridge went moldy.
All right. Well, there
I mean,
are.
he's supposed to be gone for a fucking week.
And next week there is a mess. There is a newspaper article talking about logging in the area. That they are going to start doing some construction behind behind near the forest. And there is an Indian Native American group that they're having problems with. There's been some protests that they should not be logging in this area, and there are a lot of voices that are upset with the fact that they're just they're allowing these loggers in. You have your activists that go in that are saying we don't need loggers to be here, but
You know what? Kane's gonna do a little bit of research on that land, and just find out if it's traditionally if it was actually used to belong to the Indians or not.
it
Native
does.
Americans.
It does. It's a reservation. And they're starting
Okay.
to talk about moving them out of the reservation so that they can increase the city size.
I mean, if we want to get technical, like, all of the land here used to belong to the Native Americans.
Yes.
Correct.
Like, there's literally no parcel of land that you can say did not belong to the Native Americans at some point.
Yes.
Fair enough.
And
Yeah,
so
basically all property is theft.
So yes, there's this issue being publicized in the papers about basically construction companies trying to shift people out of the area because they have contracts to basically clear the land, make it ready for building. Interestingly enough, this is actually happening just a few miles away from where Nathaniel is currently boarding with
Yes.
Miss Thatcher and her apples.
and the particular tribe that they're talking about is the Wampanoag tribe.
Creations reference there for a minute.
No, it's an actual tribe, and they are in fact native to the area.
They're very
All
unique,
right.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair,
But Kane's gonna go over to Hayden with the newspaper about them actually doing that. So how much you wanna how much you willing to bet that they're gonna stir up something, and we're gonna have to go investigate?
Hayden looks up and says, "Who are you and why are you in my bedroom?" Because it's 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday.
Oh, fair.
Nah, I mean, if you're heading round there like one evening, that you're there at the bar, yeah, you'll find him, and he'll have a look at it. Like, oh yes, I was reading about this. You may wish to have a word with Elle, possibly. They may have heard some of this stuff. They have some contacts that apparently own or work with some of these construction companies.
Yeah, and I'm willing to bet they're gonna kick up something, and we're gonna have to go after it.
Well, if they do, maybe we can do something about it.
Yeah, potential.
He's kind of broke. Unless people are asking for assistance with things, or if there's actually some kind of supernatural event, we don't really tie into regular things.
I know. But other than that, Cain's just gonna be like during his downtime. Cain's just gonna also be looking at like different newspaper articles from like surrounding states for like any of the supernatural stuff that he would be used to doing.
Connecticut, during that time period, the rest of the Winchester mansion is going to be a fairly decent tourist population.
I might actually go there then.
Attraction.
Because people need to know about the guns. Oh wait, that's right. Yeah, the entire whole thing about Haunted House. Yeah.
So anyway, in the newspaper, the article will say, by the way, that the area they're talking about doing the renovations and construction is right behind Nathaniel's boarding house.
Yes, this is exactly how it is stated in the article. It doesn't mention anything about the woman whose house he's bunking at. It's specifically Nathaniel's boarding house backyard.
They do say that this is there is talk about getting rid of Franz Thatcher's orchard, and that they're going to be building a high rise, well, not a high rise, but building some more commercial buildings in that area. A particular park is also involved in there. They want to make a beautiful park, but first they're going to take out the orchard.
And how close is this to the projects that we fought in already?
Very close, actually.
What projects did you fight in?
I think they're talking about the swamp. Yeah, it's on the other side of the swamp.
Well, this could only end well.
Cain's got his theory and all that. That they're gonna do something stupid. It's gonna kick up Spirit, and we'll go after it.
Well, what time is it?
It's like 7 a.m.
Well, then Nathaniel would be fetching the moan and paper.
And that's when you would be hearing the loggers heading into the area.
Wouldn't this have been announced like weeks in advance?
It was.
Yeah, yes, it was announced weeks in advance, and when she's talking about loggers in the area, she's not talking about people rolling in with like trucks and chainsaws and the whole thing. It's like literally truck pulls up with 50 dudes with saws who are getting to work. It's a little bit away, you know, they're clearing an entire area.
Well, I'm gonna go. You know what? You know who I'm gonna talk to about this? Fran.
Oh, Fran's out there
Yep.
cussing them out.
Like,
Don't touch my orchard! Don't touch my orchard!
work is never done. You there, boys! Walk forward. What are you doing with all these saws and logs and whatnot?
There's a big sort of gruff guy with a rather sizable, you know, industrial scale kind of big fuck off saw over one shoulder, just kind of looks. We're here to cut a bunch of trees down. The fuck do you think we're doing?
Not in this area, not. It's under investigation right now. We're trying to solve a rather nasty set of disappearances. All your hubbing about, tearing down the trees, it could destroy all kinds of evidence. Afraid you'll need a court order.
Look, man, you wanna have some kind of problem? Go speak to the foreman.
I'm showing him my badge, and it's like, well, I'll be happy to talk to your foreman, but please be aware that if any of your boys so much as snaps a twig in that forest, I'll have them up in a paddy wagon faster than you can say two-step shuffle.
It's funny you say that because he kind of glances at the badge like he clearly has no idea what you know, entity this badge is for. And then as you continue that, he just kind of shrugs and says, "I don't fucking care." Turns and continues walking down the pathway to the area that's like clearly marked out for them to get started at.
Because as we know, there's never been a case of someone fast-talking somebody else.
This guy's too stupid to be fast-talked. He literally cuts trees for a living. He does not care. And he also gave you the information you need, which is go speak to the foreman.
You gotta be pretty sharp to cut trees. But very well.
No, the axe has to be sharp. Or the saw. The person wielding it can be as sharp as a spoon.
I'll go find the foreman and give him the same rigmarole.
Okay.
Yeah, you when you head along, you see where like they've got a few trucks parked up, and there's a bigger truck with it actually kind of looks a little bit like your paddy wagon, but like scaled up, because they're effectively using this as like an office. So there's a big door at the back that's opened and a set of stairs leading up. And when you go up and explain your whole position, the guy sitting there with the shirt and the tie and the glasses looking over financial documents just kind of looks and says, "Look, who are you? Why are you here? And if there was anything to stop us from cutting down the trees in this area, we wouldn't be here."
I know. It means someone really screwed up on your end.
Or on your end. What investigation are you talking about?
It's a secret investigation. Matter of national security, sir. You're not trying to interfere in national security, are you?
Well, I don't give a damn about national security.
That's just what a communist would say.
He just kind of sighs. Do you really want to go down this path?
Is he saying this to me?
He's saying this to you. Do you want to go down this path?
I'm curious now. Does he not recognize my
Oh, he
recognized authority?
Oh, he does.
Okay. And am I not capable of fast talking him through this?
Well, let's get a charisma roll, -1.
Okay. There is no charisma.
Okay, I mean charm. Too many games we play.
Give me the talkie stat.
Yeah! Alright, mixed success. Even with that -1.
Can we just have him roll everything for us?
Yeah, the funny part is it's technically a -2 because I have a -1 to charm to begin with.
And you still got an 8. Oh, jeez. Alright. Damn.
Jeesh. Talk about luck.
I vote that he does all the talking from now on.
Oh no, he just does all of our rolling. We take the actions. We just let him roll from our sheets.
You fair?
Alright.
So yeah, it's when he asks this question, you adopt your I'm here official like image and everything. And he eventually, after a few moments, goes, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" Stands up, walks around the desk, and sort of pauses next to you and goes, "All right, come here." He heads outside and basically just shouts out to everyone, "All right, guys, stop what you're doing. Take the day off." And like clearly, he's kind of pissed that this is going on. Take the day off. Come back tomorrow. And then heads down the steps, heads over to his car, and pulls out a little folder with a piece of paper, writes down an address, and hands it to you. Says, "Look, if you are doing some kind of investigation, and this is all illegal and all such other bullshit and national security, this is who you're going to want to talk to." He hands you the paper, and you don't immediately recognize the address that's written down. But after like you take a look at it and think, why do I know the name? Yeah, so he gives you the address, and it takes a moment, and you're sort of thinking out like, why do I know this name? Like,
Background, they're all bitching because they're not getting paid for today because that's how it worked in the 20s.
yeah.
Yeah, they don't get paid. They don't get extra. They don't get paid.
Well, no, they got told to go home at basically the beginning of the workday. Ain't none of them making shit today.
They're not happy with that, that's for sure.
Who's this motherfucker saying shit about national security? I don't give a shit. I got bills to pay.
Yeah,
Country.
Country
yeah,
can take my balls.
So yeah, it takes a few moments for you to remember where you've like seen the name before. One of the documents that has come through the office with like a list of potential people to investigate for their communism and illegal bar, speakeasy stuff. You eventually realize matches this name. A Salvatore Ricci. Which immediately makes you think, shit. Because it sounded like Earth to you. This guy is heavy into organized crime. The kind that you definitely need a lot of legitimately acquired, what's the word? Paperwork in order to approach him with any kind of official business.
Well,
this is one of these guys that like the cops will not go after because they know he's got too many he's got too many people in his pocket for anything to stick. And the Bureau does have a like fat file on this guy and all the things that they are pretty damn sure he's involved with. Only a handful that they can actually prove because he has like a ton of cutouts.
Oh man, the only thing I found when I was investigating this guy was a bullet in my chest. Ugh.
So I have a name. Do I have an address?
Yes. The address that the guy gives you is it's a shell company that owns a bunch of like various companies that are tied to organized crime stuff. Yeah, it's kind of one of those like Montana Holdings sort of deals. You know, I'm clearly not a criminal. I own a holdings company. It's not up to me what the companies that my company owns do in their company time.
But the instructions are to talk to Salvatore specifically.
Well, the guys just say, like, if you want to go and speak to somebody about this stuff, this is who you're going to have to talk to because this is the guy I answer to.
All right. And Salvatore's a bad guy. I know this, right?
But you can't pin anything on him.
All right. I have a plan, believe it or not. So here's the thing you have to understand. Nathaniel doesn't really care about this forest. He's doing this more as a favor to a friend than anything else. Nathaniel also knows that there was some kind of hidden entity watching him as he was going through the forest. That's not any of Nathaniel's business. There's all sorts of hidden things in the world, and as long as they stay on their side of the world and we stay on ours, we can leave be. So Nathaniel's plan is going to be to get as much information as he can about Salvatore Ricci, specifically like where he lives, hopefully, or at least where he can be found, information about his, common places to be, where he is, all of that. He'll then go out into the woods and leave wait until it feels like he's being watched again, and then leave a large file explaining all of this and saying, here, you want to do something about it? Kill this guy.
I love it!
They're just going to send more loggers, guys. They're just going to send more loggers. It doesn't matter how many loggers you kill.
I love it.
That's totally fair. You can 100% do that. It will have absolutely no effect, and you'll be wasting your resources.
What resources?
So you don't care about it, but you will go in and see or at least get the file for the guy. Salvatore.
Mr. Rich? Well, I'm going to be using a combination of what I already know and what is easily available to find out.
Okay.
Like Nathaniel has no reason to be invested in this at this point.
Yeah, I understand that. The only thing is that it's going to be a lot of noise that's going to be happening in the back.
Right, to be fair, the reason you're not invested in this is I am terrified that if I give her a chance, she will talk about apples for the next 2 hours. And you'll let her.
Oh, you know it.
Well, we've only got like 30 minutes left.
Oh,
Yeah,
the crab apple. Oh my goodness, I haven't thought about that.
Right click.
But that's the point. But that's my point. Like, there's at this point, there's no like clear supernatural threatening mankind thing going on, which is kind of Nathaniel's only reason for being here.
Right.
There might be if the loggers start moving in and whatever's in the forest starts killing them, but that's a future problem. Like nothing's really happened there yet. What is Nathaniel supposed to do exactly? Like go to his friends and say, hey, we've got loggers that are moving in on my landlady's backyard and like tearing down some apple trees. Like what none of this is illegal.
It's not illegal.
Yeah, like again, Nathaniel like does not have a legitimate reason to get involved. He's doing what he can to help in a surreptitious way. And I should think that pointing
actually might actually help your rent as well.
I bought a day. Nathaniel bought a day. And he's giving whatever sort of supernatural thing is going to start killing loggers the source of where they should really go to kill somebody to get this to stop. And I'll repeat this several times. Like, look, you can kill all the loggers you want. They're just going to send more. They do not care.
Well, no one's actually died currently.
Nobody's died yet.
That's fully what Nathaniel expects to happen, given his extensive knowledge of folk tales.
Yeah.
But what about if she starts cooking for you for free?
Oh, if she volunteered to do that, Nathaniel would march on down there and shoot Mr. Ricci in the head himself.
I can see it now, just getting Cain to come with him, just like, because it's just, hey, I want some extra muscle. All right, I'm bored. Fuck it, let's go.
Yeah. Hey, want to go kill a mobster?
Fuck it, I'm down, let's go.
How would you like to kill a man?
Anyway, you find out that Salvador Ricci is the one who is involved with this. You realize that this guy has a lot of backing.
Now, okay. Could I argue from this, from because Nathaniel is doing this insane plan, which I maintain is not an insane plan. Like, this has a decent chance of working to some degree, but that this constitutes potentially either a weird role or investigate a mystery role to cash in later.
Yes,
give,
you can. Yes, you can. Which would you like to do? Because there are two different things that will happen.
To be fair, I mean, I would personally suggest that it would qualify for the investigate mystery.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Investigate a mystery. Now, am I taking the same -1 here?
Yes. Sorry. You have bad luck right now.
You'll suffer this -1 until you make amends.
Sure.
Alright, sharp with a -1.
And you still didn't fail! And you still didn't fail! Wow. Okay.
Like I said, he just gets to roll everything for us from now on.
Alright, so yes, you will be able to, I think it gets a hold for your for investigating a mystery.
Well, the thing is, currently, there's not really a mystery to investigate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Oh.
I'm just banking. This is being banked.
Yes.
All right, we can
For
talk
when
about that
something inevitably happens, because that is the kind of world we live in.
Mm-hmm.
Effectively, like what I did.
Well, the
comes
mystery
back.
has begun.
Okay.
You do know something's been watching you.
Well, yes, but I always feel like somebody's watching me.
Hmm.
Yes, and your moments lacking privacy.
In my moment is lacking privacy. Yes.
Yeah. The thing about that is that because you've done enough, like, you know, the stakeouts and watching stuff yourself and, you know, previous investigations for the boy, the whole thing about it is you do notice that it doesn't feel like you're being watched by people. Like, you know yourself from being in that position, stalking people for official reasons, that you know how stalking someone works.
Mm-hmm.
And what the feeling that you get from it is that this is not a person stalking you, or a group or anything. That is
I understand. I understand, but as far as Nathaniel is concerned, the presence of a supernatural entity does not a mystery make. It hasn't done anything. I walked into its home and it watched me.
Mm-hmm.
Like that does not a mystery or call to action make.
True.
Nathaniel is actually very much of the opinion that supernatural entities just need to stay away from humans and vice versa.
True.
I mean, to be fair, I'm trying to give you an olive branch here, Karsa, because you're the one in control of this.
Yes, I know. But so at this point, head and go with the fact that you are being watched. You know you're being watched. You know that Richie is in charge of the situation. You decided to go and take a file and bring it over to them, to the forest. Correct?
You know what? Fair enough. I got a 9. I get a hold 1. What sort of creature is it? On Investigate a Mystery. What is watching me?
You feel like a cat is watching you.
Right, when she says cat, she doesn't mean like a cat.
I mean a big cat.
You talking like a Stephen King Sleepwalker style cat, or?
Well, you could go and look at, here's what I will give you with the mystery. There might be footprints in the ground because the ground is still kind of wet.
Are there footprints in the ground?
There are. They're rather large footprints of what could be considered maybe a bobcat, a lion, but huge cat footprints.
Okay, so clearly large cat here.
Large cat.
Yeah, and it's also close enough into the area with, that's been built up over time that it's not like big cats wandering about are common. This would stick out as that's kind of weird
as
to see
rare
kind of tracks in this area.
Yes.
Now, there's a difference between rare and obviously supernatural.
Currently, this is rare.
Yeah. Like it is not impossible or obviously supernatural for a big cat. By which you mean, lions, tigers, pumas, oh my.
Mm-hmm.
To make its way down into Boston.
Right. But
so,
this is a gigantic cat. Because the paws are the size of your hand or more. It's not a normal cat. It may even be considered a dire cat of some sort. Now, is that just like baseless supposition on my part to think that it's a quote-unquote dire cat as opposed to just like a mountain lion or something that escaped from the zoo? You know it's bigger than it should be. You do know that much. You're saying should be. Should be. Because like a lion should be lion-sized. Mm-hmm. It seems like it's okay. So I would say it's your opinion at this point in time that this is a large cat. It doesn't all right, you know what? We'll skip a bunch of things here. I'm going to take out a little notebook and I'm going to do my best to make a sketch of the footprint that I see. All right. A box approximately as well, like taking note of the size of it. Okay. So that I get down the size as well. I don't have the tools on me to make a cast, so I'm doing the next best thing. That's fine.
Yeah, you're able to take enough detail, and there are other like tracks that you find in terms of things like claw marks that are clearly like way bigger than you would expect if this
urine sprayed on the trees. Yeah.
There's a bunch of other tracks and stuff that you're able to find and make note of.
Toilet paper strung about everywhere.
No. Yep. But you will notice that the tracks tend to go in between the forest, but occasionally you'll find a few tracks, and it heads towards the tribe, towards the reservation.
Well, again, there's nothing inherently unnatural or unusual about that.
Right.
So, I'll make a note of it. Just, you know, the old mental checkbox. Hey, big cat was heading towards the reservation. It would make absolutely no sense to jump to the conclusion that there's some kind of shape-shifting Native American out there, because that's also completely based on stereotypes and, like, exploitation of someone else's culture. Make some notes. Head back to the boarding house. Later today. And by later, I usually probably mean just like, you know.
You are met, but Fran meets with you, and when you were at the, and she baked you another cobbler.
Fran, you are the apple of my cobbler.
And you just gave me a day of freedom. Thank you.
Well, obviously, tomorrow you have to throw a great sword at them. Give them more freedom.
I just hope they don't take down my orchard. They kept eyeing my orchard. I didn't want them taking down my orchard.
Well, I'll see what I can do, Fran, but I can't make any promises.
Anything you can do, I would appreciate. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome, Fran. And remember, I am always willing to sit here and talk about apples with you for hours and hours and hours on end.
Alright, there's only one choice left. We have to kill Nathaniel.
I agree.
In detail.
Oh yeah, we will kill you in detail.
Excruciating detail.
The details will in fact be excruciating. Pain.
Yes.
Lots of pain.
Nathaniel will then, again, there's no reason to really involve anyone else in it just yet. Head over to, wherever the nearest zoo would be. I'm trying to think of how you would find an expert in big cats in 1927.
Well, there would be the Boston Zoo is fairly new, but you could go there, and then there's also New York Zoo.
Okay, try some zoos. I suppose also as a backup, try a library. See if they have like an almanac of animals.
You have a library at the speakeasy, above the speakeasy, that you
I will
can
check
find
there as well.
There.
Where you will find Francis.
Essentially, just like testing to see, hey, does this look like the footprint of any naturally occurring creature?
I mean, if you go into the library and ask Francis, he can look at the book for you. And
Francis, do you know anything about cats?
I know more about animals than I'd care to admit. I've nearly been killed by a lot.
I was gonna say, I hope you had a follow-up to that, because that got real weird real fast.
I think some of them were even left by students.
I get it. Sleepwalkers. Yeah, they're messed up. But,
Francis just pulls out a newspaper about the time an actual tiger was found in the fucking school.
Nathaniel reaches into his jacket, starts to pull out a copy of Stephen King's Sleepwalkers. Remember that it's not supposed to be written for like 60 years. And quickly hides it again in order to prevent a temporal paradox.
All right.
Gotta remember to stop pulling this stuff out. We can't let the general public know. Anyway. I mean, if that's what Fran looks like, our conversations would be very different. But anyway, before my voice gives out,
Clearly, you're not paying attention to the Discord.
Do you know anything about the common? Do you know anything about the tracks or footprints that large cats would leave, like lions or panthers, like lions or tigers or panthers? Oh my!
I would have come across some. I've lived in the area long enough. Mountain lions are more of a mountainous area sort of thing.
I know, but you know, anything can happen. There's enough rich idiots that want to have exotic pets.
True.
Yeah, exactly. He is not wrong.
Even in this area, that would be sure. That would possibly be a case.
Well,
you know what? That is 100% how this thing I talked to should frame Salvatore Ricci's murder when it does it. Upon my suggestion.
Francis will look at you and just go over to the animal section, pull out a book on large cats.
Yeah, like compare. Let's see if does this look like anything that actually exists.
Because of course Francis knows the entire library top to bottom.
The paws are larger than most of them.
That's
it's not the size, really. It's the shape It's the shape of the print combined with the size. Like if this is the paw print of your average house cat, but it's 10 times bigger than it should be, that's cause for concern.
Yeah, the paw prints are very pronounced, cat-like. However, you swear that there might be a human print in between. Like a human hand. That the claws look more like human fingers.
Okay, werecat. Got it. This is Sleepwalkers.
Francis looks at
what the fuck is Sleepwalkers?
It's a Stephen King novel about cat people that need incest to survive.
Cool.
It was made into an absolutely batshit movie.
So most of Stephen King's adaptations got it.
I don't think it's possible for you to understand exactly how much cocaine Stephen King was doing during the 80s. Like, I don't think it's possible for you to even imagine that much cocaine existing in the world as he was consuming in the 80s.
So,
dude, we've all seen Scarface.
So with the
I was
prince,
immediately picturing Tony Montana with his mountain of coke on the table.
The prince,
he has no memory of writing Cujo.
The paw print that you have looks like the fingers are a lot longer, or the claws would be a lot longer and more human-like in that.
Like something that's animalistic and kind of large.
Very large.
Oh, that just solves this problem. Is there now this is a bit of a stretch, but we have operators for a reason. Is there any registered number to contact the Wampanoag tribe with?
Francis will literally just hand you a map and say, "Go. I'll bring you to the reservation." It'd be easier.
Well, it's not like I had anything else to do today.
Good.
I'm missing out on so many conversations about apples, though.
Towards the Wampanoag tribe reservation. What is Elle and Cain doing?
You know, that's actually a good question. But what time it would be?
That's probably in the afternoon, at least. And they're
smoking.
They're heading that way in the afternoon. I'll be right.
Well, I mean, we don't really have much of a mystery going on, so
Yeah, I don't know anything's going on. So like, if nothing's wrong, why would I assume anything is wrong?
I guess Kane's just gonna be with Kara at the shop.
Yeah. What day of the week is it? Voices in Nathaniel's head.
Yeah, that's actually a better question.
For you, it is Tuesday.
Ah, damn.
It is Tuesday.
It's
Damn it, it's
Tuesday.
not Wednesday.
It's Tuesday.
I can't say it is Wednesday.
Wait, so this is the day that Bison graces somebody's village?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kane will just be at the at Kara's store helping her out.
Okay, you're at Kara's store. Where is Elle?
Kane's got nothing else better to do
Yeah, I don't
other than day drinking.
One is at Club 1, which I believe is the least lewd club.
Least lewd. Okay.
You know what? Fuck the die. No. Let me find the names. I'm done with this. We're at Club Deceit.
Club Deceit. Well, what does Club Deceit look like?
So, the outside looks pretty normal. Actually, it'd be kind of hard to find if you didn't know it was there. It's one of those things where like you got to go into an alley and then find the sign that isn't a sign, and then go to the door that leads to a quote-unquote basement, except it's not the only basement. There's probably another sub-basement to it. But when you get inside, it is a very dark, very red atmosphere. Well, not very dark. It is a dark with a lot of red and gold and black. This is the closest you could get to a modern strip club. In fact, you know what? It is a modern strip club. That's why it has to be hidden. So there are naked dancers of both genders. Elle is not.
Uh-huh.
There is equality. There are
Doesn't
private.
care what you're waving about, so long as you're good.
Yep. There are private rooms in the back for private dances and quote-unquote private dancers.
Mm-hmm.
For those who want to do a tango instead of a...
No, it's a horizontal mambo, you twit.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, it's because they have a sign outside that's in French that when translated says touching okay.
Now, the actual front-facing part of the building is a hotel that charges by the half hour.
Yeah.
By the half hour.
B does not take names.
Oh.
And
But do they
Well-
kick ass?
if you mess around, then yes.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what your kinks are.
There are in fact a lot of well-built people here whose entire job is to make sure that people don't get hurt unless they're asking for a specific amount of hurt.
Well, you get a lot of loggers in there today. And they are not
There's always
happy.
a lot of logs hanging around.
No. But you get a lot of loggers there today, and they're not exactly happy, so they're looking for a good time.
You know what? That would make sense. They said somebody at LMS and said, we have a large influx of people in the morning? And I was like, that doesn't track. They
And
showed up.
yeah, and they would show up, and they are just not happy with the fact that someone decided to call off their job for the day.
Oh, right. There's also a stairwell that is from the basement club to the
Mhm.
hotel that does not cross the front door. That does not cross the front lobby.
It doesn't cross the front lobby, okay?
Oh,
But so there is an influx in in the hotel and in there where in the sea where there are a lot of people who would have been working show up just to have a good time because, well, they have nothing else to do. And they don't know how to tell their wives that they don't have a job at the moment.
They haven't been fired.
No, but they don't have a job today.
That's not what that term means.
So, well, they,
Yeah, so I guess I will be hanging out here because this is unusual. So, like, oh, I suppose I'll be needed here today. That to actually earn my pay today. The L roll their eyes.
Yeah, like
In a joking manner to the bartender.
Yeah, as soon as you walked in, you had like 3 of the like wait staff were basically like waiting for you to come in and be like, "Oh, thank God you're here."
Oh no, don't thank God. You had nothing to do with this.
Yeah, they've probably heard statements like that enough to be like, you know what I mean. Thank you that you're here.
I would never confuse myself with a deity, but I understand your sentiment.
So they had the influx happens. You have a few rowdies, a few of the loggers that get a little bit rowdy. They've been but they leave about the time that they would have left if they had done the logging job to go back home. It makes sense.
Yeah. The other thing of Flip the Seat is there is a very little tolerance. You get one warning, and then you are watched. And if you become close to not heeding the warning, you're out.
Well, there would be a warning or two being sent.
Yeah, there's like four of the younger, more who the fuck do you know kind of twats end up getting basically dragged out by the collar.
And at first they start talking about this boy that came in and caused all kinds of trouble and stopped the whole job, and they just go on about it, and then the ladies say, how about we have a little bit of fun?
And in the most condescending and derisive manner that Elle can, be like, so a child caused you to stop working for a day.
No, a boy from the boy.
Elle will blink at them, take a drink, wait for an elaboration.
I'm gonna bounce for the night, guys.
Fucking bubble.
Political authority.
I will continue waiting for an elaboration.
He's
Who's
not
telling-
a
who's
sheriff,
telling them?
he's a boy.
Who's telling them this?
One of the loggers.
Continue waiting on an elaboration.
I don't know his name, okay. I didn't even know they existed very much, except the fact that Uber would be involved. But
Oh, a bureau agent. Got it.
yeah, one of the boys.
All right, no, you can leave now.
You can literally tell him to leave.
Yep. Well, I mean, like, leave my presence, not the club.
Oh, okay. And they will leave your presence and go back with one of the girls. The girls are trying their best to keep them occupied and not thinking about the boy.
Hell, I even imagine some.
I mean,
every now and then with Cain over at Kara's shop, he's got to get at least one or two of the vloggers out because it's just they're causing chaos there.
I mean, if it's your shop, it's probably the ones that are like, yeah, I actually I'm not gonna go cheat up my wife. I actually got some tools.
Yeah, that's fair.
When they
Yeah.
show up,
Yeah.
you probably got the calm ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you literally have to you spend like a solid half hour listening to Kara explaining to this guy about how the trinket that he wants to buy will not actually protect him if someone comes at him shooting arrows at him in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this guy's super paranoid that, you know, he's literally going to be getting attacked by, you know, classical Old West Indian.
Mm-hmm.
Kane's just like, that's not how that trinket works at all. And that's not how most of any of that thing works.
And she's like, you want to be protected by arrows? Gives him a full set of boiled leather.
Yeah, she's like, now, if you've got, like, you know, 3 months' wages, I could potentially make something up for you. You know, flicks through the books, he sees, like, you know, $3,000 for a full set. And he's just like, oh, yeah, that's like way...
That's more than
my
his
price range."
house. That is
Yeah.
more than his house.
Kane thinking to himself, God damn it, my shit's just scrap iron half the time.
Well, no, see, the funny thing is, you see in the book that she's added like a couple zeros to this. She just wants the guy to bugger off.
And it's just like Kane's also thinking to himself,
Nice.
God damn, my shit's just scrap iron.
Yeah, I mean the general gist of the thing is yeah, a bunch of places suddenly have an influx of, you know, the like couple hundred folk that should have been working that day.
But are not, because, well, somebody stopped it. So.
Yeah.
Kane gets, like, here's one of the stories. It's like some guy from the BOI, boy, whatever you want to call it. And Kane just laughing. Kane just laughing to himself mentally. Like, he's just... He ends up actually excusing himself, walks out back, and just is dying of laughing his ass off.
Knowing full well that Nathaniel had done.
Yup. After like a few minutes, he comes back in, just kind of like fully composed. Finally, he's just, I'm sorry to hear about that, man. Just hopefully it's better for you. Knowing full well it won't.
Only if that boy does not show his face around tomorrow. We're going back to work tomorrow, that's for sure. Unless he can talk Mr. Ritchie out of it.
Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff that you hear people like discussing about it does sound like there's been a few instances of like supposed animal attacks have been mentioned. There's a few of them discussing, you know, seeing like stuff that might be big cats, for instance.
They will tell you. They will be like, have you ever heard of a cat with such big claws?
Yeah, Kane's just gonna shrug. Yeah, I'm not typically from around here, so I don't know. Hell, for all I know, Tiger could be living in there. That's about as far as my knowledge goes.
I've never seen a paw print that big in this area.
Yeah, Kane's just gonna shrug. Yeah, I don't know.
Not to mention, and another one of the loggers came out. Not to mention that one set of footprints, that seemed like there were 6.
Kane's gonna like pause for a minute.
6
Wait a
paws?
minute.
Yeah, 6 paws.
Kane's gonna like think to himself, wait a minute. That don't sound right. And then he's just like thinking to himself, oh shit, god damn it. Well, time to start looking into something.
Are you? What do you need to look at?
Kane's gonna be looking into Well, obviously,
Are
the
you
Cain
saying
knows
that
that there's
out loud? There's got to be something.
Oh
You're
no no
looking...
no 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 no! Cain's thinking to himself.
Oh, okay.
Like Cain is completely thinking to himself on this.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wouldn't worry about it. It'll probably just run off. If it won't attack us, we'll be fine.
Cain thinking to himself, "Oh yeah, go ahead and think. Yeah, go ahead and think that."
I just want to have a job tomorrow. I need the money. The old missus, she wants that new found gas burner stove. That's such
Too many legs.
so crazy. Anyway.
Once the store kind of clears out, Cain's gonna turn to Kara. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to the archive. Sounds like something that they're describing. It's just something's not sitting right.
All right. And we're gonna stop right there. And next week we will start with Nathaniel and with Francis as they are heading towards the reservation. And I don't know how late you will be, so we'll get to you.
I won't be here.
Okay, so we won't get to you until this next week. But
Cain, here. If this helps, Cain's just gonna be doing research into Native American myths, because like he knows, obviously, loggers, the woods is like Native American grounds. Native American mythos, basically.
Okay, so
it involves cats or like some kind of dog, cat, or whatever.
Just roll me before you leave.
All right. I'll go ahead and do that. Investigate a mystery. There it is. Probably gonna fail. I'm gonna laugh if it does. Oh shit. I did not fail.
Well, this will be a quick mystery.
Well, it's just like, okay, cat, Native American, 6 legs. Oh shit. Wait, what? It's got 6 legs. Ah, fuck. Okay. This is obviously something I gotta deal with.
Yeah. So the thing that you would find out is there are several different types of mythos about this, but there's one particular where there was a lady, a herbalist at one time, and it's not in the right area. But the Native American story, and it is a Native American story, is that a lady was wanting to go hunting with the men.
Okay, yep, I know exactly what the fuck it is.
You do?
Yep. I know exactly what it is. Out of character, at least. I know exactly what it is.
But this is in character, so let's...
Oh, in character, yeah, no. Like, Cain's probably got no idea other than... Now, if it was something originated from Louisiana, yeah, no. Cain would probably know it.
No, it's not from Louisiana. No. But
out of character, I know exactly what the fuck it is.
A lady one time wanted to go with one of the Native American women wanted to go with the men and hunt. She didn't feel comfortable doing the normal women stuff. So she actually became very good at at hunting. To keep them from realizing that she was there, she dressed up like a cat. She took on the bobcat and the bobcat look and covered herself with it. But in the story, at one time she got caught by the shaman, and the shaman had cursed her to be thrown out of out from the tribe, and that she would be sent to look like a panther or bobcat for the rest of her life. And there was something, but this happened somewhere around North Carolina, and the creature would still be to this day considered revered by the Native Americans, as it also protected them even if it was ostracized from its family. And that is the story that you would find. Congratulations on getting a number 12.
I mean, that's what Cain will be doing next week, because, like I said, I sadly won't be here.
You know what? For a laugh, go roll charm.
Okay. Is this shits and giggles kind of thing?
Just roll me charm.
Oh yeah, this is probably gonna fail. Ah, I called it.
Right, because I was going to say that this is how convincing you are next week when your NPC tells
Oh,
the
fair.
tells the other PCs about this story.
Yep.
Fair enough.
So you have the story, but you're gonna fail to say it.
No, it's like Kate like says it, but none of them believe him. It's just during the whole thing after they find out what it is. Fucking told you.
Yeah, the entire time everyone's just like, yeah, I think jumping out of that building, I think he might have cracked his skull on the ground or something. Or, maybe that bush only saved his body, but his head still hit the ground hard enough that part of his brain flew out.
So we'll have fun with that next week as we play your character.
However, like I said, so next week I will be working. However, the 5th, the week after, I am free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
essentially, you will be background dealing with super important personal shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why.
Or messing with Kara.
He'll be at the library if needed. He'll be helping out Hayden with some shit.
Okay.
Yeah, there'll be something off screen that is super important that he needs to deal with, which will just suddenly, very strangely, and with perfect timing, no longer be a thing when you are available to play your character.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
So, all good.
Yeah, that's when Kara's had enough of him and being like, get out of here, I got work to do.
And Karsa, the lymphedema event, that's the 8th, right?
Yes.
Okay, I have no idea if I'm going to be off that day, if not. Probably considering
Saturday, and it starts at 11.
Considering how my schedule is going, I'm probably going to be working. Oh, hey, I'm actually getting an extra hour that day. Hour and a half. Hell yeah.
So, that's pretty much that. Alright, this is KarsaKKWx. Karsa's my name, KKWX is my empire. Today we started the new mystery in which we saw the Exor Sisters and some cat is roaming and causing trouble. Well, we won't know that yet. But the loggers are causing trouble. So let's see what happens next week on Waystone Mysteries. Goodbye!